Hello Libra, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is going to be your summer solstice solar eclipse reading for the 21st of June. Bear in mind, with it being an eclipse, the energy can drift out for as much as 6 months. So, you know, very, very major energies, and probably the biggest eclipse I've had this year so far. I've never pulled this card. It's called Strangely Lonely and Holding On Way Too Tight. This is a fairly straightforward message, Libra. Okay, let's just start. You're holding on so tightly to something that is proving to be a barrier between you and others, which is why you feel so alone at times. At present, you may need to open up just a little and admit that you crave like-minded people around you. This does not mean people who do the same things for a living as you. It means people who speak to your soul. You're craving metaphysical and mysterious discussions, and you've got some questions that truly need answers, or at least an exploration. It's time to consult oracles, the ones that we find when we seek out friends who tell us what they see, not what they think we wish to hear. And what you're likely to hear is that you must let something go. One dilemma with living in a world you feel you must protect is that you fear other people intruding on it, disturbing the delicate balance, so you hold on tighter to whatever you have or whatever makes you feel you. The truth is, your inner world is richer than most, and it's an imaginative paradise or hell, depending on your state of mind. When you receive this card, please let go just a little and notice how this gives you room to interact and engage with loving others. And this therefore helps you recreate your world anew. It is likely you will choose carefully who you allow in, but at least one person does need to be let in, and at least one security blanket needs to be shown the door, just for the moment. And that really does cover up this reading. So a success that you will enjoy during this solar eclipse is walking away from something. And it's with the Three of Pentacles. So this really, for some of you, I mean, it does seem to indicate a relationship. But the Three of Pentacles is usually a work type situation. So again, this card is about letting go. It's about moving on. It's about closing the gate behind you and walking away into a sort of unknown future. It's just sort of feeling that you've kind of finished with something. Perhaps it is a career that you once, you know, held of some value. Maybe a relationship. I think it is for most of you. Or some sort of long-term experience of any kind, however that resonates. So it's something that's been very familiar, and now it really is just time to sort of hit the road, Jack. An open road ahead. And I mean, it can be like an emotional pattern or a false belief. But with the Three of Pentacles, I mean, it is upright. This is sort of no longer wanting to invest your time and efforts and really kind of almost like being involved with other people. I mean, this can be groups, it can be social groups, social media. It's like, it's just not, it's just not your bag anymore. I mean, it was obviously something that, you know, held some value, but it's just, it's like run its course. And in terms of what you should be setting your attentions towards, it is your own blossoming abundance with the world. So the world is a fantastic card. I mean, it means it's a successful completion. It's not something that's usually, you know, heartbreaking or devastating. It's one where you've sort of, you've got to the stage from the full at 0 point into 21 of the major arcana, is that you've integrated all the lessons of the full. And you're able to, you know, basically complete that cycle. So that can be like a job you've been in for 20 years, or a career you thought you would do your entire life. You might literally be retiring, and it just feels a bit awkward, you know, but it is done. There's no two ways about it. And blossoming abundance is about now sort of looking at where your wealth and your value lies, really. You know, you might want to travel the world. You might just want to set course on a brand new career, a new course of study. But it actually may be a complete time out for you. You know, you might just be picking up your pension and, you know, setting up your hammock, pouring your pina colada, and that's you. I'm not getting like an enormous amount of sadness. What I am getting, Libra, is a reluctance to have the talk, to have the conversation. I'm reading for someone who's really quite clear on what they want, what you should avoid, and it is the anxiety. And the anxiety, I think, is in having the conversation. When you see what the other cards come out, this is just, it's almost been overwhelmed as well with the Two of Pentacles. I mean, this could be that you've, you know, been working 2 jobs with the Two of Pentacles, or, you know, been dealing with 2 people, and now you have to choose from one, and you can't, you know, it's very difficult to tell the person you're leaving behind that you don't want to be there anymore. But it's telling you to drop the ball, and that will ultimately help you deal with whatever sort of anxiety that you're having here. And this anxiety card sort of depicts, obviously it's worry and stress, but it does also show that the storm outside is actually kind of rolling away from the window. It's sort of suggesting that the worst is over. I still think you need to have the conversation, Libra, but you have made your mind up, so it might be something you've been brooding over for a long time and stressing yourself about and losing sleep about. And I think you're quite clear in your mind, but you still need to have the conversation. You need to say that you're off, that, you know, you're no longer, it's just not for you anymore. Now, here's a challenge that you have to face, and it is to say you have to reveal something. Now, this may be you that is revealing this, Libra, that, you know, it doesn't need to be like, you know, anything massive, that you've, you know, stolen money or cheated on someone, or you just don't love them anymore. I mean, it's pretty massive, but it might actually just be being really honest with yourself, to stop lying to yourself. You know, you could be in, say, a marriage for a very long time, and you still very much care for this person, but at the same time, you're not in love with them anymore. You just don't see the rest of your life being with them. It's so hard. And that really could be the deceit. And this is the challenge, actually revealing what you've been keeping to yourself. So it doesn't need to be that you'll come across a massive lie, that someone is cheated. I'm not saying anything like that at all. I'm just feeling that someone is very much done with something, a job, a career, a relationship, but there's still affection here, you know, but it's just not enough anymore. And that's something that you're going to have to face. And a helpful resource is the Magician in the Mirror with the Knight of Cups. So there might be new love here. There might have been someone that's taken your eye, stirred your juices, or this just could be a water sign that's, you know, a friend, a relative, a brother, and they're going to help you with this transition, if you like. The Magician in the Mirror is about manifestation. It's about bringing things new. It's about revitalizing oneself, and this is my Reiki healer as well. So it may just be that, you know, there's a new course, a new career that you want to follow, which bears no resemblance to what you've been doing your whole life. And this Knight of Cups just might be someone that's sort of, you know, helping you along the way. This is like, he's the final card in this deck, and he is about using his own true power. And it's very much about following your own heart. You know, what drives you with the Knight of Cups, what really does stir you emotionally, following your, you know, God, it sounds so cliche, but that's what it is. It is like having a flame inside you. This is all that energy is coming out of his hands. It's all the elements, and it's just very much feeling really powerful and wanting to change your life, transform your life into something that feels really good. So this could be someone else, or this could be you just tapping into that energy to give you that little lift to have this very difficult conversation that wherever you are or whoever you're with is no longer where you want to be. And an effective way to raise your vibration. Now this came out sideways, and it is hostilities sideways. So either it's saying, I mean, basically I've got the Lovers upright and the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is a decision in love, and it's just that with the Six of Cups, this is usually, you know, your soulmate. This is can be your inner child, but it's having like, it can be like bad memories. I don't really feel that. I just feel like it's not there anymore, Libra. You might again been together a very long time, and you've been through everything together. They mean the world to you. But for the next cycle of your life, you just don't feel it. And this hostilities, I don't know, but I mean, it doesn't know which way it wants to come out. It doesn't know whether you want to, you know, have a blowout or create an argument, or quite the opposite. It sort of feels like it's just, there's just been a shift in your energy. You maybe even just want to bring, like, if there's been a lot of arguments or a lot of defensiveness or, you know, aggression between you, and it's because one of you, at least one of you, is not happy in the situation. With it being, if it were reversed, it would suggest that you're trying to bring some sort of peace to the situation here, that you are, you know, just trying to bring some calm and have a really sensible grown-up conversation rather than being at each other's throats, and that will be happening because you're not actually addressing the core issue, you know, because you're trying to avoid the core issue. So you might be having a lot of petty arguments that have got nothing to do with the core issue, because the core issue is not being addressed, because it's massive. I feel it's going to be massive. And a special message from the universe is to speak. I had a similar message for one I just put up. I think it might have been Scorpio, and it was called Speak. The message from the universe is to talk about your marriage. Have the conversation. There's a secret here, and it is that one of you at least wants to move on. Maybe even both of you. You just want you want peace. You want to move on. You want a divorce. Two of Cups in reverse and Justice in reverse. I mean, it could not be clearer. I'm not seeing anything that's to do with third parties or cheating or anything like that. I really feel that the deceit here is that someone doesn't want to be here anymore, and someone else is holding on really tightly. And gosh, it just feels like a natural conclusion. Three of Wands at the base of the deck. This is just not seeing a future anymore, really. Thinking Man is in reverse. And Caring Connection is in reverse as well. This can be someone not acting in their best interest, but I also get that this is someone who is, with hostilities being here, this is almost someone who's trying to pick a fight. This is like someone wants to end a relationship, but they don't have the balls to say so. So they're actually trying to create an atmosphere that's so uncomfortable that the other person ends it. There's a little bit of a feeling of it's like cowardice, to be perfectly honest, if that's what someone's doing. So yeah. Strangely lonely sort of resonates with that. Like, you can be literally living with someone in a household, in a marriage forever, but feel completely alone. And you can be completely alone and feel perfectly content. So, gosh, Libra, I'm sorry, that's a bit of a rough one. I'm not going to say I hope it resonates, but I do hope at least it is of some use. Bear in mind it will drift out, or can do up to 6 months. Gosh, look after yourselves. Take care.